some people might sit here and say, oh, this patch didn't really change too much. That's kind of the problem. The problem is, like, if you look at where the game is now, like, just, and look at where it was in October of 2020. The stats, ability strength, like, the power disparity between the roles is insane right now. Leave it to the balance team to just disappoint in every single way. Anyway, all right, here we go. Bastion. Just, dude, honestly, I think Bastion sucks, to be honest. Like, I don't see a time where you can pick Bastion and do well. I'll put him in B tier, but he's no higher than B tier. Like, D.Va just checks up so hard. He does, like, no damage to armor. Like, he's just not that great of a pick right now. Unless they have a Reinhardt one trick, in which case, like, you can pick him into Rein. But that's pretty much about it, ironically. Cassidy, I'm going to put in A tier today. I climbed back up to mid-GM from placements already. So we're going to keep playing, but like one of my best games was on Cass. Like, he's just super consistently good. He's consistently really good, and every big flanker got HP nerfs. So he's definitely good into a lot of those things. So yeah, Cass, I'm going to put in A tier. He can kind of get played anywhere. I mean, what a joke, right? What a sick joke. I just, like, D.Va indirectly got buffed this patch because heroes like Hanzo having 225, heroes like Juno having 225 now, heroes like Echo having 225, Moira and Kiri having 225. They didn't nerf any of the damage buffs they gave her to micro missiles or anything like that, so she's just better into those heroes. And half a second on DM isn't even the most atrocious part of her kit. The most atrocious part of her kit is the fact that she has so much health and armor with the Giga Armor, headshot reduction, all this stuff, and they don't even touch it. Like, just genuinely the most delusional, out-of-touch balance team I've ever seen in my life. And here's what I would say to Aaron Keller. I would tell you to go fight a D.Va at the end of Overwatch 1 with those stats, and then attempt to fight a D.Va now, and tell me how any squishy in the game has any player agency whatsoever. D.Va just an S tier character. It's unbelievable that she was not touched in a meaningful way. But again, this is what they want. This is why I say Team 4 has lost all sense of direction for what's fun about the game. They never understood what made the first game great. What made the first game great in the best metas was that everybody could play make on each other. These tanks have so much stats because the tank players have been miserable for so long because you removed their fun gameplay loop. You removed their frontline exchange that actually mattered by making 2 super tanks instead of 4 mid-health tanks. So now every tank's just a super tank. It's just super boring. D.Va S tier, okay. Genji. Actually, I'm going to say Genji. I still think he's bad. I still think Genji's bad. I'm going to... B minus. At the best. At the very best, B minus. To be clear, I almost want to put him in C tier, but I'll be generous here. He is a bit of a winner in heroes like Hanzo and, again, Echo, Kiriko, Moira all going down to 225, as well as Lucio as well. But, again, he's just not very good in the neutral, in my opinion. I would say B minus, just to be generous. I'm not sure if 225 actually helps the Dragon Blade breakpoints that much. I don't think it does because it was horrible when everyone was 200. So, and all it can do is swing faster. So, well, you know what? Actually, I take that back. I'm putting Genji in C tier. He's still bad, I think he's really bad. I think he might be able to fit into some comps, but he's just bad because heroes like Mei and Reaper all have 300. We'll talk about this in a minute. The disparity between the DPS post Season 9 is just continuing to get wider and wider. All they're doing is picking and choosing which ones they want to have the better breakpoints for the season. It's not actual game balance. It's just shuffle the board over and over again because that's all they know how to do. Hanzo. Okay. This might make some people mad. He's still, like, there's a couple duels where you can pick him, but he's also worse, too, against the matchups that he was already bad into, which are the main times he would get played. Like, if you're playing Hanzo into dive, you're already at a disadvantage because he's not very good against that, right? Dragon Strike just isn't an ultimate, and if you're playing against Poke, you still can't one-shot Ashe. You still can't one-shot Alari. You still can't one-shot Bap. You still aren't doing anything to D.Va, or maybe barely Sigma at all. So into the matchups where, or Reaper, who's 300, or Mei, who's 300. Like, they just, again, this is just a massive board shuffle. And like, yeah, there's a couple times where I noticed the one shot on Echo, but there's no reason to pick him over Ashe. He's worse than Ashe in every single way. Every single way he's worse than Ashe. So, you know, it's just not enough. Like, and now I will say, he is more playable than he was before. Genuinely. Like, if they're playing Lucio Kiri or Lucio Moira, and like, you can one-shot the supports. And you know what? Because of that, I might put him in B tier instead, actually. I will put him in B tier, I guess, just because of that. But he's definitely, like, at B-. I give him a B-. He doesn't have an ultimate. He's bad into fucking D.Va, who just kills him even faster. It's just like he's like half-seas now. Like, he had now, instead of having 2 feet in the grave, he has 1 foot in the grave, 1.5 feet in the grave, I guess. So yeah, I just definitely a little bit better, but just ludicrous that Ashe does not get changed, but Hanzo does. It's unbelievable. Junkrat, big winner. I believe that his combo is back on 220 targets, or 225 HP targets, especially with Mercy being a little bit better, but not, well, you know, actually, I'm not sure if I'm going to say that, because 225 on Mercy is hard for her, too. We'll get to her later. But I think Junkrat getting his combo back on some heroes, especially with his changes, is going to help him climb a little bit back, but he is no Ashe. He is no Hitscan hero. The Hitscan heroes are feasting, and the blatant Hitscan bias from the developers is very, very prevalent this patch. Lucio, I'm still going to say is like S tier, dude. I still think Lucio is really, really good. In ranked, at least. Like, he's just like insane util. Beat drop is a really strong ultimate. I think that he's crazy, and he got some damage numbers, too, to compensate. He is squishier and is very noticeable, especially with certain characters, but Lucio is still incredibly strong. Mei, I'm going to say is B tier as well. Blizzard is just super easy to counter. She can freeze D.Va kind of, but she never got freeze damage increases, so she's really not that good into D.Va. I think she's middle of the pack. She's better. I would say she's better than Junk and Hanzo, but she's definitely still pretty niche. She was a big loser post season 9 with her changes that happened to her. So I would say Mei is B tier at best right now, but she's definitely pickable in the right situation. But she's definitely, I don't think she's nowhere near as good as she was pre-season 9, because they didn't compensate her freeze damage, and she doesn't have the one shot on Tracer and a couple niche interactions that made her very, very good. And they nerfed her slow a while ago too. So okay, Mercy. Now Mercy absolutely was not doing too hot, to say the least. She was the biggest loser in the support role post-season 9. Even though she's a poke character, what made her good with poke was her damage boost, but she can't damage boost nearly as consistently. So I forget the exact Mercy changes that they did, but compensating her health just to give her a little bit more damage boost, I don't think helps her very much, especially with her flyers both being nerfed as well, which was kind of like the main way that she was able to get run over an Alari. Because why would you run Mercy when you can have a pylon that pockets just like Mercy does with a second DPS? And the answer is you wouldn't. So I'm going to put Mercy in C tier. She was like D tier. I think she's a little bit better if you're good at surviving with Mercy. Well, actually, they did increase her healing per second, too. She could end up B tier, but she will not be any higher than B tier, in my opinion. She will not be any higher than B tier, in my opinion. I don't see her touching anywhere near B tier. I like, even the damage boost increase, like, the reality is the DPS passive just hurt her so much because she can't actually heal. So, or she can't actually damage boost as much. So I'm going to put her there. Pharah, I mean, I'm going to put Pharah in C tier. I think Pharah fell off big time. I think D.Va is really good, making her really bad. Ashe just checks her. She's just so much easier to play into now ever since she got her changes. I might put her in B tier, but like with D.Va being as good as she is, it's way harder to force Pharah now, especially when she's at that 225 threshold. And heroes like Hanzo are going to be able to get a little bit more viability. Ashe being insane, Cass being good, Widow being what she is. Okay, here's where it gets fun. Reaper, huge winner this patch. So I'm putting Reaper in A tier, okay? The only reason I don't have Reaper in S tier is because the super tanks check him. Like, I've been playing a ton of Reaper. I was 1 game off champ on him. His spread buffs were insanely strong. His TP is insanely good. Heroes going down to 225 is going to make Death Blossom a lot more lethal on those picks as well. D.Va just checks him. But Reaper is definitely one of the better DPS in the game right now. He does a shitload of damage. His spread buffs were crazy good. So do not sleep on the Reaper, dude. Do not sleep on the Reaper. He is insanely good right now. The only reason I don't have him literally in S tier is because, again, like D.Va and the other tanks just check him, and Poke is like really good into him. So, but other than that, on the right maps, he puts in fucking work. Reinhardt, mid. You saw a post? Yeah, well, Tommy, it's okay. People can say I'm toxic. Like, people can say I'm toxic as much as they want. They can't tell me. They can call me anything. They can say anything, but they can't say that I'm wrong. That's the key. I don't sugarcoat it. I'm not going to. And like patches like this are just abysmal. I don't care what people say. You can say whatever you want about me, but you can't say that I'm wrong, because look at the results. They're there. Ryan is just super, super mid. Again, like D.Va, he's just not D.Va. His buffs helped him a lot, and he's playable. But again, it's just D.Va is a hero, and Sig is a hero, and Ram is a hero. Like, it's just, they're just crazy good. Crazy good. Hog, another big winner this patch. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I watched Mushroom go fucking crazy on Hog today. Hog posts the tank passive changes to where he can heal more now. His one shot against a lot of these flankers is back. I watched Hog players do disgusting things in rank today. Now, maybe I might put him in B tier. I'm not sure if he's A tier. I'm gonna put him in B tier. I give him a B plus. I think he's like, listen, this guy, he could be a floater here. D.Va's checking him right now. But Hog, against 225 characters will one-shot them almost all the time. And he only has 10% heal mitigation on his breather. So, yeah. Hitscan shuts down Reaper so hard. Not if you TPM properly. It really depends on the fight, and it depends on the team comp. But Hog, I'm going to say, is B tier, but he's creeping A tier. He could easily creep up out of nowhere. So keep your eye on Roadhog here. Soldier might be the worst hero in the game. He does 9 damage a shot to armor. 9. D.Va presses shift and micro missiles at him, and he just explodes. 0% chance to win. Genuinely an unpickable character. Horrible hero. Absolutely horrible hero. It's insane. It's embarrassing. That's what I'll say. Sim, I'll say, is B tier. If you're a specialist, you can get a lot of value, especially with D.Va being good. Not an end-all counter, though, because D.Va has so much health and she can just kite you. And she really struggles against Poke, but there's a lot of maps where she is good, and there's a lot of maps where she's abysmal. So that's going to land her right in the middle of the pack. Here's where this gets fun. You guys ready for this one? Torbjorn. Big buffs to Torbjorn. Those armor changes help him a ton. He cannot get one shot by Widow. With every flanker going down to 225, his turret is going to be really good, and he's back. What was checking him were Pharah and Echo and a lot of these Poke comps, right? But with Pharah and Echo being much weaker now, which we'll get to them later, Torb getting a big armor increase with better armor in the game in Molten Core, he's back on top. Like, Torb has been a big sleeper pick for a while. I played him quite a bit today. Torb and Reaper are both like pseudo picks into like a Winston or something. In ranked, Torbjorn is really, really good. Really, really good. Big Torbjorn stonks are up if you are a Torbjorn player. Very good pocket pick. If your backline is getting farmed, to go Torb, drop a turret for them, and the game just becomes completely different. Tracer, I think, is insane. She's very, very good into Juno. Destroys her. Destroys Juno. Cannot believe they nerfed Juno. We'll get to her last. Tracer, insanely good. Did not get affected by the other flanker nerfs. Makes her even more competitive in the role where she was already stronger than most characters. She's very, very strong even to this day. Widow. It's insane. Absolutely insane that they nerfed Hanzo's HP before they touched Widowmaker. I have a Widowmaker rant that's 18 minutes long coming out. The devs, again, just showing absolutely insanely blatant hit scan bias. The cat's out of the bag. It's inexcusable. There's no defending it. It is incredible. It's incredible they talk about one-shots this much, and they will not nerf the most egregious one that, if you do not get a dive tank, makes the game miserable for everyone in the lobby. Widowmaker cannot exist the way that she is in 5v5. fundamentally broken hero, rewards you far too much for too little, holds the entire lobby hostage, even if you're going 1-for-1. It's just insanely boring and unfun. I'll cue my Widowmaker rant for that video that's coming out soon. But I will say, I think she's also very good into Ashe, who is S tier. So we'll get, spoiler alert, right? Spoiler alert. Let's go ahead and do Ashe right now, okay? Yeah, Widow, super broken character. Insane. Especially with dive heroes being worse, it's going to make her even better. We're going to go to Ashe for spoiler. I mean, absolutely S tier. Mercy damage boost Ashe, still insane. Got crazy breakpoints. Dynamite, like, again, she was already good into dive. She's even better into dive now because heroes have less HP. Bob is a literal tank with the tank passive. By buffing Bob's HP, or by giving Bob the tank passive, they effectively gave him a 25% health increase because everyone would just hit Bob in the head. But now he gets 25% damage reduction on fucking headshots. So he's just absolutely insane. Like, compare Hanzo Dragon Strike, which cannot even kill a Bob, to Bob, who has a way better range. It truly, guys, it truly is inexcusable. The disparity between these two characters. It's inexcusable. So Ashe, a huge winner from this patch. Even though she already was the best DPS in the game, she is now even better because Blizzard decided to roll the dice yet again. Easily the best hero in ranked, not even close. Winston, I think, is A tier. Monkey's pretty good. Again, the armor changes helped him a lot. The primal tank buffs, again, he's been insane. Not too much to talk about there. Monkey is just a good pick. He's just a good pick. Zarya. I didn't see too much Zarya today. She's still not better than D.Va. I'm going to put her in B tier. I don't think she's that insane. She got walked back quite a bit. I think she's situationally good, but again, like with Ashe being super strong and some of these poke heroes and D.Va being as flexible as she is with all that power creep, I don't see her being a better pick than some of the other characters. But she still can be good on the right maps. I'm not saying she's unpickable. She's definitely on the higher end of B tier in my opinion. Every tank right now is just insane. So, Zen, he's just not Alari, man. Like, he and Alari compete for the same role, and she's just better than him at every way, at every turn. He's not bad. I'm not gonna say that he's bad. So I'm gonna put him at B tier because he's not bad. He's just not Alari. He's just not Alari. So, yeah, he's just not more broken than the other supports, which is just fucking hysterical. Okay. Ana. When Monkey's getting played, she's A tier. When Monkey isn't getting... B plus, A minus. I'll be generous here. No, because so many Anas are just horrible. I'm putting it in B tier. Like, if you're good at Ana, you can play her, especially with the Brig, but, like... Flanker's getting nerfed helps her. B plus, we're going to say, guys. B plus. I can't quite put her in A tier because if you don't have the Monkey, she's not very good. Ana is very good with the Monkey comps. She's very good at Nano 8 D.Va. She needs a Brig, though. If she has Brig, she's A tier. If she doesn't have Brig, she's definitely B tier. So if she has Brig and the right comp around her, then she could be good. Not much else to say on that. Sombra is just B tier. I can't put her in A tier. The Sombra changes, like... Again, it helped her in the matchups where she's already good into, but she's even worse into the matchups she's bad into. Like, Alari just shits on her because you have to break Pylon first with Virus, and, like, then you have to set up. It's just a lot of work. Her, like, into Ashe, she's just going to be worse. Like, that time to kill does not matter on the Virus because, again, you just die faster. You have to break Immortality Field and Pylon and Bap Shift and Alari. And, like, there's just so much shit you have to chew through passively because these heroes have so much sustain on their own that she honestly probably would benefit from more health rather than a little bit of virus damage and stealth move speed. Because again, it doesn't matter how you set up on these targets and how fast you set up on them. When no matter what you do, you always have to break the pylon first. You always have to pierce through Bap Shift. You always have to pierce through Coach Gun. You always have to pierce through Immortality Field. And D.Va is so tanky with the armor that you can't even hack and kill her anymore. So like she's just B tier. She's just B tier at best. Very difficult to play. EMP is still her saving grace, though, as a big fight win con. We'll see. Okay, Orisa. Even with her buffs, B tier, man. She's not D.Va. She's just not D.Va. She's just not diva. That's pretty much it. Nothing else to say. She's just not diva. That's it. Doomfist. Usually I have him in A tier, but he's going to drop down to B tier here. With all the dive heroes getting nerfed, it's going to be hard to play heroes that are good with Doomfist. He's not bad, but he's just not Winston or Diva. Pretty much. That's pretty much it. Like, Winston and Diva are just significantly better, and you guys are seeing the cycle of tanks here. Whichever tank is flavor of the month will forcefully push the rest of the tank roster down. That is a problem and byproduct of 5v5 roll lock and super tanks being in the game. Let me make this clear. Doomfist is not bad, but indirectly, because the heroes around him that really help him excel are all worse, being the dive characters, it makes his job a little bit harder. He's not bad, though. He's just not Diva. Moira, definitely a loser this patch. We're going to put Moira in B tier. I don't think she's that great. Her sustain is okay. She's just better than Mercy, and that's about it in the support role. Brigitte. I mean, honestly, the only reason Brig is not an S tier right now is because Ashe. Like, Brig is A or S tier at, like, easily. Rally is insane. Her healing is insane. Her kit has always been insane, and it's only been power crept more and more, especially with armor being better on her base health. She's definitely been a huge winner recently, and with flankers being even worse, playing Brig against them is going to be even easier. So, yeah, definitely a big, big win for the Brig players. Okay, I got to have to move fast here because my food's almost here. Ball, mid, just mid. He's not Diva. Pretty much it. He's not Diva. Brig just gatekeeps him very well. Bap, no surprise here. Absolute S tier character. Somehow, some way, the only thing they're willing to nerf on Bap is his fucking ammo count, which is ludicrous given he has 2 fucking ultimates on cooldown. His burst heal will bail out almost any dive, and immortality field is absolutely insane. So yeah, Bap, no surprise here. S tier character, insanely powerful. Sigma, also S tier. He's just not Diva on the maps where he's not Diva, but he's been overkitted since his inception. He's always played on his maps because he's insanely strong. No surprise here. Sigma, insanely powerful character, has only gotten better over time. Echo, definitely a bit of a loser. The nerfs don't hit her too hard, but it does matter. I'm going to say Echo's A tier as well, but she's slowly getting down to, she's A minus. She was A, she's A minus. She's creeping on B tier. Ashe and Cass are going to check her really, really easily. And she can't kill Diva anymore because she doesn't do enough damage. Shout out Diva. Awesome. Diva's very fun to play against, guys. I'm really glad you reverted the fucking half-second Matrix buff. It's totally not the armor being the most oppressive part of her kit now. That's unpierceable and unbeatable for every matchup, even the ones that favor her or favor Echo. But yeah, that's cool. It's cool. Sojourn. Sojourn is B tier until Diva goes down. These buffs definitely helped her, but Diva just checks her really well, I think. So she's B+, I think. Sojourn definitely needed something. She's making her way back. So yeah, I think she's B tier, but she could end up in A tier. If I had to bet money of her going up or down from this point, it would definitely be up if I guessed wrong. Okay. Queen, B tier. She's not Diva. She's way tankier now. She's just not Diva. It's that simple. She can definitely get played in some of these situations, but she's simply not Diva. It's that fucking simple. She's just a lot of these tanks just aren't Diva. You know, it's just it is what it is. Kiriko. The devs coming out and saying that, like, despite the perception, Kiriko actually isn't that strong. Yeah, Kiriko is that strong. 90% of the support player base are not that strong. They're just bad. She has the 2 strongest abilities in the game, Suzu and Kitsune. Kitsune being the best ultimate in the game. I think Juno ult is, yeah, no, Kitsune is still the best ult in the game. So yeah, she's just crazy. Even at 225, she's still so fucking good. And a lot of these modifiers, I think to her damage might have helped her out, but like it's just, I find it like I'm not even gonna go in on the devs saying that. It's on brand. It's on brand for the balance team to say, oh, well, actually, our statistics show that Kiriko underperforms. It's like, no, your support player base just sucks. That's all it is. They're just bad. They're literally just bad. But when people actually use abilities correctly, she's insane. Fucking beyond me, but whatever. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Wrong button. Okay, we're good. Ramattra. I think Ram's A tier. He's good on his maps, but he's not Diva. And he's not Monkey. Like, I think he's the best Brawl tank right now, but, like, Brawl tanks just aren't that good because Diva's a brawl tank and a dive tank. D.Va's brawl and dive. D.Va became so tanky that she's just able to get played fucking anywhere she wants. Flavor of the month, D.Va, amazing. So glad she's got like a 12 buffs or something. Like, it's fucking ludicrous. These Lifeweaver changes, I actually think make him worse. He's not Brig. He competes for the same spot with Brig. Like, I actually found myself being able to break Petal really easily, and his sustain got nerfed. Like, letting him pre-charge his thing is really stupid. But I'm all for net nerfs to Lifeweaver. If this ends up being a net nerf to Lifeweaver, then good. I'm okay with that. I don't want him to be good. Alari. Really good job, guys, nerfing the 2 ammo. That's really the problem. Just embarrassing. You guys are just fucking embarrassing. It's just embarrassing, man. She's broken. The pylon is just fucking insane. I think her ult's a little bit better now too. It's just, I'm not even gonna go in on this anymore. Okay, Mauga, B tier. Just, he's not D.Va. D.Va checks him. The armor changes check him. He's just not that good anymore. The shout changes were big nerfs, as I said. Venture, A tier, big. Venture, I think Venture and Torb are the number 2 and 3. Actually, with these Echo nerfs, Venture might be competing for the best projectile DPS spot in the game. We'll see. Venture, definitely a big sleeper pick, especially with other dive heroes getting net nerfed. All right, Juno. 1 second. Really strong ultimate. Her ult is really good, but nerfing her health to 225 was a mistake. She just doesn't have the same survivability as every other support. I hated the changes they did to her automated shit. I think they should focus on her active value rather than her inactive value. I don't think she's very good. I think she's B tier at best. She just gets one clip by Tracer so fucking easily. She's nowhere near the survivability levels of Bap, Kiri, Alari, even Ana or Brig. Like, she's just not survivable, and so the other supports are just way better. Yeah, so this is my season 12 tier list. Real disappointing. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. They're missing the mark. You know, tanks are still super broken. It's just, you know, roll the dice, I suppose. But yeah, that's my tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it helps you all out in your games. And I will catch you guys next time. Take care. Peace out. See y'all later.